he who gives receives divine joy. Two joys exist for man. One is the joy of receiving and the other is the joy of giving. The special joy one feels when giving cannot be compared with the joy one feels when receiving. If man is to understand whether or not he is making spiritual progress, he must first look within himself to see if he rejoices when he gives and not when he receives. If he is upset when receiving and joyful when giving, then again, if he is working properly spiritually, he will rarely ever remember the good he has done, but will never forget even the smallest good done to him. He can never ignore the smallest benefaction of others. He may have given an entire vineyard to someone and forgotten about it. But if the other person gives him just one bunch of grapes for that same vineyard, he will never forget it. Or he may have given someone many valuable carved wooden icons and forgotten about it. But if the receiver later reciprocates by giving him a small icon made of plastic, he is moved by the gesture, even though it is of such insignificant value, and out of gratitude. He is already thinking how to repay the favor. He could give away even an entire chapel along with a plot of land and still put it out of his mind. In other words, the correct spiritual approach is to forget the good you do to others and to remember the good others do to you. When someone reaches this state of spiritual being, then he is indeed a human, a man of God. But on the other hand, if someone constantly forgets the good done to him by others and only remembers the good he has done to others, this work is contrary to what Christ seeks from us. But even if one thinks, you gave me so much and I gave you that much, this too is an unacceptable mentality, grocer-like. I try to give to the person who has the greatest need. I don't recon things according to a bargaining mentality. He gave me these books and now I owe him the same amount which I must pay in order to be even. Or if others don't give to me, I won't give them anything either. This too is nothing more than a human form of justice. He who receives experiences human joy, but he who gives experiences divine joy. Divine joy comes to us by giving. Someone, for example, gives me a book. He now rejoices spiritually, divinely, and I who receive the book rejoice humanly. When I too give the book, I too will rejoice divinely, while the other person who receives it will rejoice humanly. But if he too goes on to give it, then he too will rejoice divinely, and so on. Do you see how with one thing alone many people can rejoice both humanly and divinely? One must learn to rejoice by giving. When he rejoices by giving, he is properly placed and is networking with Christ. He has divine grace. When he gives or offers something, the joy he feels provides him with divine oxygen. When someone rejoices when he receives or when others are sacrificing themselves for him, this type of joy is full of an asphyxiating stench. The people who offer themselves unconditionally without any consideration for themselves will be the ones who will judge us in the future. What wonderful joy these people experience. These are the people Jesus Christ protects. But most people, unfortunately, are only happy when they receive things, so they deprive themselves of any divine joy and remain tormented. Christ is moved when we love our neighbor more than ourselves, and he fills us with divine gladness. You see, he did not restrict himself to "you shall love your neighbor as yourself," but went on to sacrifice himself for mankind.